embarrassing. Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews, but you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these.
Well, I think I'm a businessman.
$1 million fight, and you know, I've already, in the sport of boxing, I've already made somewhere upwards of 800 million.
You made money. You're gonna make a hell of a lot more money.
But the main thing is, I made smart investments, and I still make millions every month.
Just Google Floyd's name and the IRS. All the news is out there. He owes jewelers money. There's back paid rent for real estate in New York. It's clear that he is now part of the no money team, which is very ironic. and why is he doing this?
No, I don't know. Normally, people that are well off don't go back into a sport as barbaric as boxing at 48, X, Y, and Z. That's not normal. But everything doesn't have to make sense to me. It just has to make sense to me.
Oscar De La Hoya has publicly questioned the image surrounding Floyd Mayweather's Money Mayweather lifestyle, suggesting that the public perception of endless wealth may not fully reflect reality. For years, Mayweather became known for showcasing luxury cars, private jets, expensive jewelry, and an extravagant lifestyle tied to his TB brand. However, commentary from figures like De La Hoya has fueled speculation about whether maintaining that image comes with major financial pressure behind the scenes. At the same time, claims about a total financial collapse, or living on borrowed cash, remain unverified and should be treated cautiously unless supported by confirmed financial records or reliable reporting. Much of the discussion surrounding Mayweather's finances comes from opinion, rivalry, and online speculation rather than publicly proven facts. What remains undeniable is that Mayweather built one of the most commercially successful careers in boxing history, generating enormous revenue through pay-per-view events, promotions, and global branding.
Why are they fighting again? Why would you fight again? Why is Money Mayweather, who has reportedly made up over $1 billion, now that doesn't mean you're bringing it all home, that's not net. That is just in terms of revenue, in terms of the gates. The last fight between Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather made $668 million. Where reportedly Floyd Mayweather took home, what, 250 of that? So why is he fighting again, everybody says? Boy, people just telling themselves, why would you fight again if you made all that money? Because that means that people don't really want to fight, right? First thing first, we know that at the bottom of the pecking order, the bottom of all the athletic pyramid of success is fighting, right? UFC, boxing, that's the bottom of the barrel. That's the chitlin circuit. Like if you doing that, either A, your daddy was a fighter, or B, boy, you fighting for your life and your circumstances in this world. So few affluent fighters. Like, oh, we have wealth, we have money, we have success. So few just upper middle class fighters. Like, dog, you gotta be from it. The mud. So we all are telling ourselves when we see somebody fight, like, why are you fighting? Oh. So now we're going to the financial, and obviously there are a lot of reports out there that talks about his money. Now, what it doesn't say, it talks about his debt, it talks about some of his liabilities. What it doesn't tell you is his liquidity. What it doesn't tell you is what he has. Now, you don't know what he has. You can guess this. You can say he has these assets over here that aren't liquid. You can say he has this ownership over here. And then you don't know which way to go back and forth. So the guesswork to you and for me, it's not really the best play because it's not going to be fully informed. It's just like going to somebody's website right now and you going to see celebrity net worth. That's not true. Trust me. I've not met one person that their celebrity net worth is real. Like sometimes it's way higher, sometimes it's way low.
In comments made during an interview with TMZ Sports, Oscar De La Hoya criticized Floyd Mayweather over continued exhibition fights and discussions surrounding a possible rematch with Manny Pacquiao. De La Hoya argued that Mayweather's interest in another major fight is financially motivated and accused him of pursuing high-profile matchups to maintain income and public attention. He also used harsh language to question the image Mayweather has built around wealth and success throughout his career. However, claims that Mayweather is broke or financially desperate remain allegations and personal opinions rather than verified facts supported by confirmed financial disclosures. Much of the public discussion around Mayweather's finances continues to be driven by speculation, rivalries, and media commentary rather than documented evidence.
You think he's talking this trash because he wants a rematch? You think he actually wants?
Absolutely.
You think he wants a rematch?
Look, another reason why he's crawled out of his rock, he needs money.
You think he needs money?
Absolutely.
He's always flossy.
It's absolutely, he needs money.
You think he's going
Once
broke?
again, come on. Fighters like that always go broke.
He's always spending, so I guess.
Absolutely. Look, he's not fighting anymore, so that big money's not coming in. Look at what happened to Mike Tyson. He made what, $500 million?
Right.
You think you can spend $500 million overnight? Absolutely.
You can't.
I doubt he'll ever step into that ring. Floyd's a big freaking...
He called Canelo the easiest win of his career.
Yeah, because he was 21 years old.
Right.
Of course. If I fought freaking Ryan Garcia, who's 19 years old, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna beat him easy because of my experience.
So fight him in his prime, he goes down. You see?
Easy.
What's your message to Floyd?
Floyd, stay under your rock, dude.
Oscar De La Hoya suggested that Floyd Mayweather's larger-than-life money persona may have functioned as both a branding strategy and a way to build public interest around his fights. According to De La Hoya's interpretation, Mayweather's displays of luxury and confidence helped create an image that encouraged audiences to tune in either to admire his success or to hope to see him defeated. He argues that this marketing approach became a major part of Mayweather's commercial appeal throughout his career. However, De La Hoya's claims that the lifestyle eventually became financially difficult to maintain are opinions rather than verified facts. While Mayweather's extravagant public image is well known, there is no confirmed public evidence proving that his spending exceeded his earnings or that the persona was purely a survival strategy.
Mayweather never flies commercial. He's only flying private.
So he doesn't own his own plane?
I don't think so. I've never seen a Mayweather plane, like a Drake plane. I've never seen that. Not to say that he doesn't. I don't know Mayweather like that. I've never even met him. So I don't know. I mean, you have a lot of properties. You have a lot of money you're constantly spending.
Right.
I don't know. Remember at one point he said he was buying like the jewelry district building.
Yeah, and they said
that
that
wasn't
was
true.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know this man's finances, but this guy told me that Mayweather is in financial problems.
See, here's the shitty part about actually losing your money when you're on that level and you're, kind of like flossing, showing off. Nobody gives a shit. Like there are people actually praying for you to be broke. And then when you do go broke, that's what people are going to say. Yeah. Oh, well, you should have invested better. Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to give him any loans. So now, we might see Mayweather doing.
People will give him some loans.
Maybe.
Listen, he's cozying up to Israel. That's
but the thing about it is, he had Mayweather Promotions.
Yeah.
And he was hosting a big, he had Gervonta Davis under his cars. And so that's a
yeah, but look what happened to Gervonta.
Right. So if you can sustain that, you don't ever have to box again. But now has to take fights because, when you floss like Mayweather, you can't go down.
Yeah.
You got to stay right there because people are going to peep any kind of chinks in your armor if you're not winning 3 or 4 big $1 million.
I can't present allegations from lawsuits as established fact without reliable verification, especially claims involving unpaid debts or financial misconduct. Here's a safer and more accurate rewrite. Recent legal reports involving Floyd Mayweather have fueled renewed public discussion about his finances after a Miami jeweler reportedly filed a lawsuit connected to luxury purchases and payment disputes. According to the allegations described in court filings, the dispute involves expensive jewelry items, including luxury watches and gold chains, along with claims regarding incomplete payments and financial transactions. These reports have intensified online speculation about Mayweather's financial situation and business dealings. However, it is important to note that allegations made in lawsuits are not proven facts unless confirmed in court. At this stage, the claims remain part of an ongoing legal dispute, and no final judgment has established wrongdoing.
But Floyd Mayweather is the one that seems like he needs the money more right now. Our guy, Andreas Hale, wrote a story that is kind of went somewhat viral. That's crazy, the laugh faces. Although Floyd Mayweather Jr. made hundreds of millions of dollars from his professional boxing career and topped the Forbes list as the highest paid athlete from 2012 to 2014, the boxer is said to have been shortchanged and filed a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against Showtime. The lawsuit filed Tuesday, and obtained by ESPN seeks to recover hundreds of millions of dollars, misappropriated funds, and damages resulting from a long-running and elaborate scheme of financial fraud, breaches in fiduciary duty, and conspiracy orchestrated by Floyd J. Mayweather's former manager and advisor, Al Heyman, with the knowing and substantial participation and aid of defendants Showtime Networks and Steven Espinoza. Mayweather, who's 48, says he is owed at least $340 million and cites a complex web of hidden accounts, unauthorized transactions, and deliberate concealment of financial records as the reason he believes he's been defrauded from those funds. Heyman is not named as a defendant in the complaint, which is interesting because I misspoke and said he sued Al Heyman. He's essentially saying that Showtime and Al Heyman colluded to not pay him with Steven Espinoza, but then he doesn't name Heyman in the suit. Very odd. Anyway, it's a mess, and for those people that always thought that Floyd Mayweather had financial troubles because of the money he owed to the IRS, because of the terrible, terrible business and real estate investments that he's made, and apparently some of these have gone under, and he is owed back rent, or he is owing back rent, and he is delinquent on a lot of payments for a lot of different things right now. These things seem to have added up for Floyd, and now it's pretty apparent that not only is he doing these, bank robbery style exhibitions, but it looks like he absolutely needs to do it, which is very, very sad. Listen, I'm not the biggest fan of Floyd Mayweather as an individual outside of the ring, but I never want to see athletes have their money mismanaged or mismanage their own money so badly that they go broke in retirement. And it looks like that's kind of what's happening. And here's a snippet from Business Insider because it made me want to pay for the entire article. Business Insider is reporting that Floyd Mayweather could be facing money trouble, citing an estimated $54 million in debt, property foreclosures, multiple lawsuits piling up. Mayweather's attorney strongly denies he's any kind of financial distress, but the headlines aren't slowing down. $54 million alleged dollars in debt. So it makes sense why they would.
Some figures in the boxing world have pointed to recent legal disputes involving Floyd Mayweather as raising questions about the difference between public displays of wealth and actual financial liquidity. Commentary surrounding the situation suggests that even individuals with valuable assets or investments can still face cash flow pressures, depending on how their finances are structured. This has led to speculation about whether continued exhibition fights and public appearances are partly tied to maintaining business income and lifestyle commitments. However, claims that Mayweather is being forced to sell assets or accept fights out of financial desperation remain unverified opinions rather than confirmed facts. While discussions about lawsuits and financial obligations have generated attention online, there is no publicly confirmed evidence proving that he lacks access to substantial resources or is in severe financial distress.
Maybe more.
How does he owe you the money? Why don't you just
Here's what happened. He pre-sold the fight using my likeness to some company in, I think, Dubai or the Middle East. This is my understanding of it, for $10 million cash. We ended up doing the fight in the States with a different company. That is the company that put on the fight. That is the company that paid. But he sold our fight with my name and likeness to someone else in Dubai for $10 million cash. It's our fight, bro. Our deal was 15%. He smoked me. So I got 15% of it. 15% of $10 million is $1.5 million. That company that paid him that money is suing him. I actually don't know the status on that lawsuit. I should check in because he still owes me money, but he has a bunch of legal trouble at the moment. That I don't think I'm ever getting the money.
He just sold his house in Vegas.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I think he's facing a bunch.
Rinsed on that house. He started at $14 million.
Claiming he wants to defend the integrity of boxing, Oscar De La Hoya recently criticized Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s latest run of exhibition fights, describing them as a disappointing and desperate attempt to generate money that could damage the legacy of his undefeated 50-0 record. The founder of Golden Boy Promotions has repeatedly voiced those opinions during his Clapback Thursday segments, where he specifically took aim at the exhibition involving Mike Tyson, as well as discussions surrounding another bout with Manny Pacquiao. Some analysts have even argued that these exhibition events are being driven less by fan demand and more by financial pressure behind the scenes.
He's used to having the refs do whatever he wants, and he wasn't getting his way this time. It was so embarrassing. Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews, including Shannon Sharp's podcast last week. But you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard. I know life is expensive. But come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this. And it gets worse. Your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're gonna have to sell off your assets. I hate seeing this happen, bro. As I've always said, it's hard to make money, but it's even harder to keep it. Floyd, I'm rooting for you. Come on, let's turn it around.
Critics have argued that if Floyd Mayweather Jr. were truly as dominant in business as he was inside the ring, he would not be taking part in unusual exhibition events or appearing in venues that some claim failed to attract major crowds. To those observers, his shift from being boxing's biggest pay-per-view attraction to focusing heavily on exhibitions has fueled further speculation about possible financial pressure behind the scenes. Former friend and longtime critic 50 Cent added more attention to those rumors after reportedly posting, and later deleting, comments claiming that Mayweather was struggling financially and would need to continue fighting for income. The rapper, who was once closely connected to Mayweather's promotional circle, has repeatedly questioned the legitimacy of the boxer's financial image. He has also alleged that Mayweather's widely publicized New York real estate ventures are more about public relations than actual ownership, claiming there is little evidence proving full control of those properties. However, these accusations remain largely speculative and have not been conclusively verified.
There's the Let's Get Floyd Back in Pocket campaign that goes on, where it's $300,000 chains being bought and buying the new Lamborghini and all these new things, and I'm sitting there going, yo, when you gonna give me the money?
Because you're already invested,
right? Like when you gonna give me your half of the money back? But I ain't trying to press him because he just got out of jail, right? So it's like, let him cool his heels before you.
Was that in the millions?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you sitting there big, and I'm like, yo, so when? But see, the fighters are an asset in themselves. They are that talent, regardless. Right. So I'm looking at him going, so there ain't no pressure there, but I'm saying, when is he going to say he wants to, to give me the other half of it? Why I got to ask you for it?
Right.
And then
are we talking over $2 million?
It's about that.
Oh, okay.
At that point, it was, invested in.
All right.
So look, he goes, when he finally does bring up the actual, the situation, he acted like he didn't know anything. Like, I didn't tell y'all to do that. I didn't tell you to do that.
Oh man.
And I'm looking at him, and he looked in my face and he tell me to do that.
How did it get to where we started reading just the tweets? Because it seemed like that, like I would think that y'all could pick up the phone and say, hey man, what's going down here, as opposed to, I respect the shooter and fuck boys, and you know what I'm saying?
That's not Floyd. Floyd don't tweet.
Wow.
That's not him on Instagram. He got somebody next to him. See, everybody around him's codependent. So they're going to roll with what he's...
The long-running fallout between 50 Cent and Floyd Mayweather Jr. has often revolved around financial issues and business disagreements. Recent reports involving a $340 million fraud allegation connected to former associates, along with legal action tied to Showtime, have only intensified scrutiny surrounding Mayweather's business operations. To critics, these ongoing disputes have raised questions about the stability of the Money Team brand, with some portraying the once dominant empire as increasingly surrounded by controversy and financial pressure.
February 3rd, 2026, Floyd Mayweather filed a lawsuit in California against Showtime Networks and Steven Espinoza, claiming they helped his former advisor, Al Heyman, misappropriate a huge chunk of his fight earnings to the tune of $340 million. Mayweather says the money is still missing and unaccounted for, and he's now suing Showtime and Espinoza for aiding and abetting breach of fiduciary duty, civil conspiracy to commit fraud. Ooh, it's a serious accusation there. Conversion, unjust enrichment, and he's seeking punitive damage on top of the missing $340 million. So why is Floyd suing him, and what is he claiming? Well, Floyd argues that during his legendary career, where he generated $1 billion in revenue plus and pay-per-view money, A significant portion of the funds that he made through those events, through his fights, didn't make it into his hands because they were funneled through accounts controlled by his then advisor, Al Heyman. Now, Mayweather says that Showtime delivered those checks and funds through systems that helped Heyman get the money instead of paying Floyd directly. The lawsuit also points to some of boxing's biggest pay-per-view fights, including fights against Manny Pacquiao and Conor McGregor, events that generated hundreds of millions in revenue. Mayweather's legal team said he generated hundreds of millions in revenue for Showtime and now wants to recover what he claims was unfairly.
Chael Sonnen, a longtime combat sports veteran known for his outspoken personality and controversial commentary, has also questioned the public narrative surrounding Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s financial success outside the ring. According to Sonnen, the image of Mayweather as a master investor does not match reality. He has argued that the undefeated boxing icon may have spent money at a faster rate than he generated it, suggesting that excessive spending habits and investments with limited returns could have placed pressure on his fortune, a pattern often associated with athletes who struggle to preserve long-term wealth after reaching massive financial success.
And why are we attempting to tease Floyd? Is Floyd Mayweather? Yes, he's broke. Of course he's broke. He's a boxer. Did they say he can't read? That's not to tease him. They say that he can't read. His best friend at the time said that he can't read, and he never denied it. I don't tease him for it. He was a guy who grew up in a boxing gym, right? I mean, it's one of these things. You know what you know. You know what you were taught. I didn't teach him about contracts. I didn't teach him about saving. I didn't teach him about investments. Who would have taught him these things? Of course he's broke. He's a gambling addict. He's got baby mamas all over the... What do you mean is he broke? Of course he's broke. What boxer do you know that isn't broke? What a ridiculous question.
Chael Sonnen has argued that in the world of major sports promotion, financial figures are sometimes exaggerated to protect a public image and sustain a powerful brand. From his perspective, the ongoing reports involving tax disputes and lawsuits from jewelers raise serious questions about the true state of Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s finances. Sonnen suggested that if those financial pressures are as significant as critics claim, then the boxer long celebrated as one of sport's smartest businessmen could potentially be facing growing challenges tied to the legacy of his wealth and business empire.
I'm asking the question. Look, I've told you until I'm blue in the face, the numbers that you hear in boxing simply aren't true. Floyd made $1 billion. No, he didn't. Floyd and Conor made $500 million. No, they didn't. Of course they didn't. Nobody's ever confirmed that. Literally nobody. It's the same thing with boxing pay-per-view. Whatever boxing pay-per-view is the biggest boxing pay-per-view of all time, it's just whoever put out the press release and lied more than the person before them. These have never been confirmed by leadership of a publicly traded company. Who is the one that supplies the pay-per-view? It is illegal for them to lie. You have never heard Time Warner. You have never heard Cox. You have never heard DirecTV. You have never heard an executive come out and confirm any of the absurd pay-per-view numbers that you believe to be true. And it's the same thing with the check. I got $100 million for a fight. Oh, you did? Who signed the check? Whoever signed the check is going to want credit for it. There's never been a time that $1 million check was written and the dude that wrote the check didn't make sure that somebody found out he wrote the check. So who wrote the check? Floyd's got a whole bunch of them, apparently. He got $1 billion. Who wrote the check? And I'm only sharing with you, like, the numbers aren't what you think they are, right? The numbers are good and they made a lot of money, but it's not what you think it is. And yeah, of course Floyd's broke. Would you be boxing if you weren't? And it's very tough to be sympathetic to Floyd. So Floyd is arguing that he was robbed by Showtime. That he had a deal that Showtime didn't argue. He's arguing this. And who's making that argument and where that goes? I'm just sharing, like, in public opinion, it's very hard to be sympathetic towards Floyd when Floyd, as a promoter, stiffed.
According to Oscar De La Hoya, the situation goes beyond boxing itself and is also about influence, business control, and maintaining relevance in the fight industry. He has implied that Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s renewed activity in promotions and his close involvement with younger wealthy fighters could be driven more by financial necessity than passion for the sport. De La Hoya has also warned that age and the physical demands of boxing eventually affect every fighter, no matter how successful they once were. Reflecting on his own career-ending defeat against Manny Pacquiao, he described it as a lesson about the importance of recognizing when it is time to step away from competition. In his view, if Mayweather continues returning for exhibition bouts mainly to address financial or legal pressures, the risks could extend far beyond money. He suggested that repeated comebacks at an older age may expose fighters to lasting health consequences. Critics of Mayweather's money persona also argue that maintaining such a lavish public image requires a continuous flow of income, which can make ongoing exhibition fights seem increasingly risky as he approaches 50 years old.
Potentially make, how much money could you reasonably walk out of this fight with?
350 million.
$350 million.
Yes.
Wow. I know you love money, right? I mean,
it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
How did you get the nickname Money? Did you name yourself Money, or was somebody else?
They just started calling me it.
They just started calling it. You always have a lot of money with you.
A little bit.
Yeah. I have a picture of, this is from Instagram. You're on what looks like a private plane, and just with a whole...
No, my private plane.
Your private plane, sorry. With a whole lot of money, and it looks like a couple of bowls of ketchup, maybe, also.
No.
Are you eating this money?
Those are cup holders.
Oh, those are cup holders. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't have a private plane.
You didn't flew on me.
What do you do with all this money? I mean, like, do you actually use it? I mean, are you using the cash?
And, cash is king.
Do you have an ATM card?
I'm the human ATM.
How do you even get this much money? What do you do?
Work hard.
I know that. But, like, do you go to the bank and say, I need all of it? I want all of the money in your bank.
No, that's not what you do. You order it. You can order it.
Oh, you can?
And when you order a certain amount, when you order millions of dollars, a Brinks truck comes to your home.
Wow.
Yes.
Why not just drive around in one of those things?
I did have, at one particular time, I had a Brinks truck.
You did?
I sold it. Yeah.
Who'd you sell that to?
Another guy who loved money.
Another guy who loved money?
As reports involving lawsuits and financial controversies continue to surface, the boxing community remains split over the true state of Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s finances. Some believe he is still the master businessman who carefully controls his image, while others think the growing legal disputes and criticism point to deeper financial problems behind the scenes. With public comments from Oscar De La Hoya, ongoing trolling from 50 Cent, and active court-related discussions connected to Miami, the billionaire image surrounding Mayweather continues to face intense scrutiny. At the same time, supporters argue that he has always understood how to keep attention focused on himself, and may simply be using controversy to build interest around future exhibition events. Now the question goes to you. Do you think De La Hoya and 50 Cent truly know what is happening behind the scenes? Or is Mayweather once again using his money persona to keep people talking and sell more fights? Is the undefeated champion genuinely facing financial trouble? Or is he still several steps ahead of everyone else? Share your opinion in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss upcoming content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.